Hey, this is Doug Smith. I'm broker owner of DHS Realty, and today I conclude my five-part series on working with a tenant. We've covered basically everything from Monday. We covered meeting the tenant for the first time on the phone or in person, giving them an IBS and a packet, possibly giving them a template of a buyer rep agreement to get their familiarity with it. We show them the property. We talk about the shade in the backyard, and we still talk about resale and what's the best concept for a house, even to a tenant. We treat a tenant like gold because they could one day turn into a buyer. We then find out that there's my little Sheltie in the background. We then find out that they want the home, and we text the listing agent, make sure it's still available, what application they want. We get the apps filled out. We send it over to the other agent. We also find out what the cost is for the app fee. We kind of hold tight. We get an answer back that, yay, we're in it. Usually the listing agent's the one that does the lease. They send it over to us. You review it with your tenant. They sign off on it. You send it back. And when it's executed, generally the tenant is going to come up with the first month's rent and the security deposit. Generally, the security deposit is equal to the first month's rent. At that point, you're going to ask the other agent that represents the landlord what forms they need from you to get paid. And they're going to want your broker's W-9. And they're also going to want an agreement between brokers regarding residential leases. You'll send those over. And after the lease is executed, you figure out how to deliver those monies, the first month's rent and the security deposit. Generally, it's electronically. At that point, if the move-in hasn't happened yet, you stay in touch with your tenant on a weekly basis. You maybe go over there as they move in. You'll bring a condition form, have them walk the house and talk about any discrepancies with the house. They mark them, and then you continue to stay in touch with the tenant throughout their stay there, because in a 10 or 11 months, they possibly could be a buyer, and you don't want to ignore them. So when their lease is about up, 10 or 11 months, you send them a quick text. Hopefully, you have them in a database. You follow them on social media, and you just stay in touch with them. And about 10 or 11 months, you go, hey, you guys think about moving in a different direction or buying a home, and then you go forward. If they're going to vacate, then you basically make sure that you still have a copy of that condition form as well as them. You're going to submit that over to the seller, and they're going to walk the house and deduct anything generally out of the security deposit that they find is amiss and not the same as what it was a year earlier when they filled out the condition form. Again, that pretty much wraps up everything with the tenant. Just know that you want to be real responsible and responsive in this marketplace, and you want to treat everybody as an end in itself. And it's an incredible profession, being a realtor. You help people with the second largest investment in their lifetime, minus their children, and the largest investment, a single investment at one time, a home. As well as you help people find a property to occupy for a certain amount of time, generally a year, and that would be a tenant. Y'all be safe. Y'all have a great weekend. Tomorrow, Saturday evening, we have a special event we're going to where Dave Wilson, one of our agents, is going to perform a concert. If you have an interest, you'll see that on social media. We posted it in multiple places. And y'all have a great weekend. Be safe. Go get some.